Hi, Stefanie.
Hi, Nino. How are you?
I'm better actually today compared to other sessions. Thank you for asking. And how are
Oh,
you?
I'm good. I'm here on this wonderful day, just getting my day started also.
Hmm.
Um, trying to get organized and things like that. So how's everything been going? Pretty good?
Yes, there were some improvements, and I was, uh, I was in a way, glad that something works.
That's good to hear. We're gonna, get into that. Um, from our last session, we did the assessment. Um, I don't know if we went over those scores, but it was your raw score was 40 basically out of it was 25. And so that's moderate. Um, I don't know if we went over that, but it's moderate
Mhm.
social phobia, which is called social anxiety.
Mhm.
Um, And so, we've been working when we, been working on some things, and I want you to tell me all about it. So, I'm just
Yeah,
want you to know I'm happy that you're here today also.
yeah, I'm happy likewise. I was trying all these the simple things that we've been talking about and even practicing during sessions.
Hmm.
And I remember you were telling me that I may feel skeptical about it, but I just simply have to give it a chance and try both in the session
Hmm.
and as my uh, routine homework.
Hmm.
So I really felt like it may be something that may not help something big as I have been experiencing before, even if it's mild according to the to the tests. But it looks like it has really some real power, because I tried to do the deep breathing. I tried to, in a way, pause, reflect, and somehow find my safe space,
Hmm.
and then to try out some simple things like when you were talking about muscle relaxation, and to do
Hmm.
it at different parts of the body whenever I feel convenient, even at
Yeah.
place.
Hmm.
I tried these things without, forcing myself, like whenever I felt I'm really like losing myself.
Hmm.
And then, like, when I felt that it was about to overtake me, and I felt that it really works. And I really want to appreciate you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mm.
So those are in CPT therapy, what we call it's like mindfulness or reaffirming thoughtfulness,
Mm.
meditation, all those things. And I thought that would be good for you because you're already very in tune. Like you are already just by your demeanor and like what we've been going over and sharing, you're already a very intuitive person about your feelings and about how to control those. So I thought that would be like good for you and you could adapt accordingly. So
Mhm.
you're telling me you tried that. Can you tell me a situation that you were in that you tried those techniques?
Yeah, I'm sure I can. Like when
Hmm.
we were talking about one during one of our sessions about the possibility of trying to approach a colleague that um, I'm not um, familiar with, or a colleague that I have met only once or two times, and have not even introduced myself to try that and have to initiate the discussion about
Hmm.
certain topics that work related topics, of course, and to see how I feel that would work.
Hmm.
And I was also trying to, first of all, I did deep breathing exercise before I decided to do it.
Hmm.
And I went up to her and I introduced myself. And still, I had that kind of back thought, in my mind
Hmm.
that, oh my God, now it will start. So then, it's when it starts, then it becomes really embarrassing because it feels like, or maybe person will tell you, are you okay? And when they say, are you okay? That is the most difficult part for me because it means
Hmm.
it's visible how I feel.
Hmm.
Um, but then as you have tried to guide me through that practice of,
Hmm.
first to do the deep breathing and deep progressive muscle relaxation, and then to also try to breathe during the time of, you said, exposure, am I right?
Hmm.
I tried that out and I cannot say it was completely smooth, but somehow I'm glad that the person, she didn't say anything like, "Are you okay?" or maybe you need some water or something that
Hmm.
would indicate that now it's visible that I'm really struggling. That was really something like a
Hmm.
milestone. But to be honest, after that, I was completely like good for nothing. That day, I
Yeah.
didn't do anything anymore because
So it kind of like wiped you out.
yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That's okay.
Mm.
The first step is you trying and getting out there and doing this, talking to even a coworker. So I would, after you spoke with your coworker, let me get this correct. Did you feel like an intense feeling of embarrassment or intense feeling of like internally thinking that they were like thinking like, oh, what's wrong with her? If you would rate that from like 1 to 10, well, let's just do 1 to 3. One being the least, three being the most intense feeling of like negative thoughts.
Mm. About her thinking about me or how I felt during the
How
demo.
you felt. Sorry, yeah, how you felt.
Um, maybe two,
Okay.
because somehow, I really felt like it it cost me a lot of, you know, effort to really make this. And when I know that, really I get so upset because this is something that people do like as if it's nothing. For them, it's
Mm-hmm.
actually that is not the major part of their work
Mm-hmm.
duties, like, or work related responsibilities, or their knowledge, because I'm knowledgeable, but it it costs me far more effort to, in a way, unfold it and present it than to get it ready to be presented. I don't know if it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. And that's really upsetting, because I could, like I said, I couldn't do anything after that.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, like, the whole of the half of the rest of the day, I was just simply,
Mm-hmm.
counting my minutes when I would finalize the day and go back home. Yeah, that's why I could say it was like two, because yeah, I was able to hold myself, but then it was like, I don't know how far it was worth it in terms of, losing so
Um,
much time afterwards. Yeah.
yeah. Were you having any type of afterwards headache, stomach ache, maybe dizziness or feeling fatigue, like just so overwhelmed by the feelings that it was kind of making your whole body feel kind of, I guess I want to say sick maybe, or
I felt sick. Yes, this
okay.
feeling of nausea was there.
Yeah. Sometimes that will happen in social situations, which is called somniatic. And what that is, it's um so overwhelmed. Your anxiety gets you to a point where you're starting to even feel sick. So you might get a headache, you might get stomach cramps, or feel like, oh, I just don't feel good. I feel horrible. And basically, what we call that is in a category of somniatic. And what we can do, well, what I want you to do is every time you do have those social interactions and you start feeling overwhelmed, not at that moment, but later on, if you can just like document those symptoms and keep track of them so we can just monitor them and make sure. Because what happens over time, if you have those feelings every time you interact with someone, or even if you don't interact with someone and you're just feeling all those type of feelings of sickness, headache, dizziness, what can happen is that they can um, they can decrease your ability to like function. And so that's what we don't want to happen. So we'll just keep monitoring that and we'll keep working on other techniques that we can do
Mm.
um, to help you get through those difficult times. So I just want you to know that. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm.
Um, it could probably been a lot for you to share that. So, so
Yeah,
thank you.
you're welcome, and thank you for giving me this space. It really makes a difference when I'm able to speak up about it, and when I'm able to, also work through certain things.
Mhm.
And there is saying in Russian language that Moscow was not built in one day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I acknowledge that it will not happen just like that overnight. I wake up and I don't
Mhm.
have it as a
Yeah.
miracle. Mm.
Yeah.
And uh, I can say that, yeah, I said that maybe the worth of it is questionable, but actually I need to correct myself. Even though I felt very drained, I still
Hmm.
felt like I was satisfied. Even though I had this feeling of nausea, I felt like there was a certain achievement because I spoke to the person that who doesn't know me, and
Hmm.
I was able to hold myself.
Yeah. And I want you to reflect on that. I want you to reflect on like how powerful that is in a sense. It could be something so small, but so powerful for you. Did you, so how does that make you feel when you think about that?
Yeah, it was really reassuring because I felt
Hmm.
like there was a payoff in a way
Hmm.
in what we are doing. And
Yeah.
also it proved the value of it to me. And that I also thought, if I can have a bit of a progress like this throughout few sessions, if I
Hmm.
really try not to give up. I was
Yeah.
trying to imagine what will be in the sessions to come, or
Yeah.
after some time, as we spoke about, these goals and objectives. Where do we want to get? Yeah.
And that's like what therapy is all about, is you discovering like who you are and um being really like I admire just how we interact and how open you are. So I want you to know that I see your journey, and I'm hopefully here to, help you along that journey.
Mhm.
And I just want to, I wouldn't say pat you on the back, but I definitely want to show that I see that, you know, things are progressing.
Mm,
And, sometimes we can't see it, but others can see it. So I want you to know that. I want you to know.
thank you.
Oh,
That
you're
means a
welcome.
lot.
So you tried to, you went out there, you did speak to someone, a coworker who you haven't engaged with before. Um, you did mindful, thoughtfulness, tactics and breathing and reflection. So that's good. Um, so we're coming to an end. I'm going to send you over two summaries to help log your how you felt with those interactions. It's the kind of like the assessment that we did, but it's just self-reporting. It's through the DSM-5. And it's for anxiety, um, social anxiety. So I'm going to send you that over so you can bring that back. You don't, I mean, you can send it to me after you're done and you have time.
Mhm.
And then one thing that I think we should work on again is, having another conversation with a coworker. I think we're still going to move in that route. I don't want to put too many demands on you. I want to kind of ease you into it.
Mhm.
So I think we could, um, if you want to, start another conversation with a coworker or maybe someone at lunch. Um,
Mhm.
Having lunch in public instead of at your desk is a good way to get you into the social engagement. without um, making you feel too overwhelmed. I don't want you to go out to like somewhere and put you in the middle of a whole speaking engagement quite yet, but I think just sitting down and having lunch, and if you see someone across the way, you could probably say hi, and or if you see someone at work, you could just start a conversation or ask about a project that you guys might be working on. I think
Mhm.
that's good. How does that sound like to you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think how would I if I'm ready for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not, we can not work on anything per se. You can do journaling, um, writing down how you're feeling,
Mm,
how um how even last week made you feel when you did speak with your coworker. Journaling is a really good way to see self-reflection and be able to go back and look at like your progress on paper, if that makes sense.
mm,
Does that sound like something you would like to do?
mm. Yeah, maybe I need some I would say how as they say in my line of work to have a phased approach
Oh yeah.
because I feel like I want to hold on to what I have achieved, and somehow I'm afraid a bit to have a bit of a mess and to fail in something because mm,
I like
some,
how you're incorporating this. Tell me what you would like. Tell me
mm,
what you would like.
yeah,
It's
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm thinking that I really need to somehow attune myself to this and maybe sustain it a bit. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how, but if it makes sense what I'm saying because I'm just trying to give it some time to kind of have a residue. And
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, do you think it can somehow, um, how can I say, uh, integrate as a skill, or it has to be practiced regularly to to sustain it?
Um, you can integrate it as a skill.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Um,
I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say is that I felt like there was something that worked, and somehow I really want to integrate it and maybe
keep
understand better why it worked and how I felt about it and how the person related to me, how that
mm-hmm.
somehow also gave me a kind of you know, uh, maybe satisfaction or even motivation to continue to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I was, I'm trying to, maybe I should think about this option of having lunch. Um, I just want to have a natural and gradual transfer
Mm-hmm.
without,
Yeah. So you feel like
yeah.
you would go back and let me just make sure that I'm hearing this correctly. You want to go back to the same person and maybe start another small conversation with them. Um,
No, not necessarily. I was just trying to internalize and understand better what was my attitude, how I felt about it, and what made me succeed somehow to internalize the skill. And
Mm,
then
mm,
also in a way, like me going to somewhere, approaching someone and speaking about work is actually the purpose of my work.
gotcha.
The purpose of my presence in the office. Me, I don't have any problem of having lunch on the way towards the office or having lunch
Mm-hmm,
somewhere outside, not necessarily with in other people's company, but
mm-hmm,
just simply in the park for some few minutes alone,
mm-hmm.
or to have it at my desk. I really
Yeah.
don't see like there is a value. I'm not disregarding it. I'm just saying that this is not something that somehow is very much like what
Mm-hmm.
I would do naturally.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
And
so,
I don't know how far I want to
mhm.
change that because um, I don't see it as a problem in my life
Okay.
to not have lunch with somebody I don't know.
I know. Yes. Um, and that does make sense. And so what I was trying, I think, suggesting, it's called exposure therapy.
Mhm,
It's part of basically we're testing um those, I wouldn't say negative waters, but negative thoughts. We're trying to, I wouldn't necessarily say push the limit, but we're basically trying to expand on and expose you to more interactions with people to get the result that we got from last week when you spoke with your coworker or had that small conversation,
mhm,
even though the feelings or your intensity felt very intense, you were able to reflect and see that it also made you like you knew that you could have those conversations or
mhm,
you felt liberated to it made you feel good.
mhm,
Even though you did still have those negative feelings. So the more exposure that we give you, to start doing different things outside of the home can expose you to more
mhm,
hopefully better thoughts
mhm,
during those engagements. But we can also next week um touch on some other things that we could do to get you, acclimated with trying to, because what we want to do is just manage the anxiety, right? It might not go away within a year or two or three, but what we want to do is when you're in those social engagements, be able to not have you feel at a two. We want to try to get you to a one. Does that make sense?
yeah, sure. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
I
All
got it.
right. So we're going to end the session today. Um, and I guess we can just end it with what is one thing that you're thankful for?
Mm, I'm very grateful for having these sessions and having met you.
Oh,
Yeah, because
yeah.
it really allows me to open a new chapter
Hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, maybe I'm also grateful for my family because
Hmm.
no matter how bad things can turn, I always have some
Yeah.
to fall back on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm grateful that you're here also, and I can't wait to meet you next week and see how that week was going. I'm also, if you want me to, um, my policy is you can always text, and I'll get back with you
Mhm,
and, just follow up through a text if you want to. So
mhm,
that's the policy, and I don't want you to forget that.
mhm.
Um, so I hope you have a good week.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
I will do that, and I also wish you a good week, and until next session of ours.
Okay. And we'll talk about more about, exposure therapy and all kind of other stuff.
Mhm.
All
Okay,
right.
I'm really looking forward to
All
it.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye-bye.